Okay, so foot sort of planting and external rotation of your leg drill. Should be a better word for it eventually. I'll get a better name for it, or I can find the right name for it. But what we're doing it for is so if you sort of doing squats, particularly if you're doing sort of the modified sit down squats, and as you're going down, you find that either one or both your feet sort of tend to lift. So your inside part of your foot trying to lift, and that's making you lose control. And also, the glutes aren't firing because you've lost that kind of stable base. This is a good way to maybe to iron that out. And what it is, it's basically better to get that, because we've got obviously the ankle joint here, we need to better sort of have the control to externally rotate at that joint but still keep our foot planted. If it's jammed up and you try and push your knees out to keep your glutes on, the inside of your foot lifts and your glutes pretty much switch off anyway, so it kind of defeats the object. So you've got to be able to kind of grip the floor, drive the knees out, get the glutes on. I can feel my glutes on now because my foot's connected to the floor and I'm rotating through that ankle joint there, outwards. Look at that fly. So what we can do, we can use a band. You can use one of these bands, like a tiny skinny band, like the smaller the better, or the thinner the better I should say, or like a proper TheraBand, which I'll put a picture up. Work even better than that, to make it a bit more strict to fit, because this is a little bit thick, it makes it a little bit easy, but at least it'll give you a start. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of it, so one end's attached here, I've got a squat rack, but just, could even be a table or a chair or something yay high. And then what we do now is we just feed it underneath the ball of our foot here. And what we do is we've got to pressure with the ball of our foot into the floor to trap the band, and then just externally rotate. So as we rotate, the temptation is to try and lift the inside of the foot. But if we keep that pressure on that band, you'll feel that glute really lock in nice and tight. So we're not cheating. Obviously, if you try and cheat, the band just pulls off and goes flying, so obviously watch your eyes. But yeah, that's what we're doing it for. It's like a very sort of precise way of fixing that problem and learning that sort of control over externally rotating the joint on top of your foot, your ankle joint, and be able to keep your foot nice and planted and keeping that control. And again, the better you get at keeping that pressure here while you do it, the more you'll feel your glute kick in. And again, then it works well. Then when you transfer back to your squats, your modified sit-down squats, you're able to keep your feet planted and you feel your glutes locking more and keep your hip joint a lot better, more stable, I should say. But yeah, give it a go. And in terms of reps and sets, and we start with 10, and we'll just have sort of sets of 20, 2 or 3 sets or so. It tends to work quite well. And if you really struggle with your squats, you can do it just before your squats. Just get that glute control locked in. I'm going to keep your foot planted. But again, keep pushing that pressure onto the band, don't let it slide out, and drive out as much as you can. And if you look, I'm at sort of 90 degrees. Try and keep like that rather than sort of lean too far forward. And drive out like that. Keeping the pressure in, trying to get the ball of the foot onto the floor to trap that band. So the thinner the band is, the harder it will be, the more strict you've got to be, because the more I try and slip out. So you can start with one of these bands if you want, and then get a thinner one, make it a little bit harder.